obviously, if you could have the prime minister at your house, you'll do it.
Do
you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
He was supposed to come for 20 minutes. He was there for an hour, 2 hours. He was on that rink. He was drawn to the rink. Crazy move on his end.
This is the Unmastered Podcast.
All right, guys, we're back. Unmastered
back.
Podcast. Who knows what episode number this is, but we're here. And Nick, you got a little intro for
We
our
got a
guest here,
special
so-
guest today. So today's guest is the founder of one of the most famous rinks in the entire world. It's been the place for multiple celebrity hockey tournaments and basketball tournaments, and people have even gotten engaged in this rink. And not to mention, the current Prime Minister of Canada has even visited this rink. Everyone, please welcome the founder of the Rink of Dreams, Alex Weiss.
Woo!
Thank you very much.
Here we go. And we're in this beautiful setup right here. You know, Alex.
So we
set it up
call
for us.
this the skybox.
Skybox, yes.
And it's a skybox because when you look at a hockey game, when you think about a hockey game, you have a box, right?
yeah.
And we're emulating that. Not only do we have the outdoor rink, but it's like a box seats for the rink.
Yeah.
Because it's right behind
Yeah.
us. Yeah.
You got this nice glass here, and yeah, if you guys could probably see behind us, there's a whole outdoor rink out there. And
It's amazing,
Rink of
guys.
Dreams.
The Rink
It
of
is
Dreams.
definitely the Rink of Dreams. Like,
Yes, sir.
it's next level over
We've
here.
seen a lot of videos about it, and now just being here in person, getting to experience it, it's awesome.
So what a lot of people tell us is that the pictures don't do it justice. Yeah. And, you know, I'm a shy person a little bit. I like to be humble when I talk about the rink. But a comment that we get a lot is that the pictures look great, but when you come out here and you see it in person, I don't know if you guys could attest to that.
Dude,
It looks cooler than the
definitely.
pictures.
Yeah, definitely. We came out here and we're just like, I was blown away.
Yeah,
the whole
yeah.
time I'm saying, that's awesome. This is awesome.
Thank you
like
so
I could
much.
only think of how awesome it is. Like it is actually next level.
It's an experience, and what we try to do is make it an experience.
Yeah, for sure.
Out here, like we put a lot of work into the ice, but everything around making it a Canadian experience and making the rink like enjoyable for the guests. That's what we care about.
That's awesome, dude. That like you care so much about like the people that are coming here, and like I can tell there's a lot of work that goes into this. It's like
It's a
huge
lot. No
production.
one knows that, and no one ever
Yeah.
asks us that.
Yeah.
So it's funny that you bring that up. It's an immense amount of work.
Mm.
It's a lot of work that goes into it. Little details you wouldn't even imagine. Like we had to build a cabana back there for the Zamboni. You got to slope that whole room so that the water from the Zamboni slides down into the drain. Like who thinks about that stuff?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It's a lot of work that goes into a rink and maintenance of the rink. But when you like it, it's enjoyable and it's
For
fun.
sure. Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yeah. That's why like we have this podcast is just because like we just love doing it, and like when you really love
Yeah.
doing stuff, the hard stuff doesn't really feel like it's hard.
100%.
You're just living the dream at that point, right?
Living the
Like,
dream.
You're living the
at the Rink of
Dreams.
Dreams.
At the Rink of Dreams.
At the Rink of Dreams.
Well, we call it the Rink of Dreams because, and it's corny, and it wasn't me, it was my mom who came up with it.
Okay, yeah.
But it's because dreams come true. People say that their dream came true by skating out here.
Yeah,
So that's how
wow.
we got the name. And then Blog TO came and they did a little piece and they kind of promoted that name, Rink of Dreams, because we had a lot of children and a lot of like community events and things like that. And they said their dream, it was like a dream to skate out there. So it is the dream, and when it's the dream, it's nice and it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's a good story right there. But yeah, like when did you like first start like building, like when you first built the rink? Or, like,
Okay,
started
so
doing
it's an interesting question. We built the rink 8 or 9 years ago. It's a long time that we built it, and that's when I was in high school, like beginning grade 9 maybe. And the concept was that we moved into the house, and we were doing a total renovation on the house. And the backyard, if you guys look out there, we're gonna just keep looking. the whole time.
No, I gotta keep.
It's bad for the camera for sure. It was complete grass for a while. There's no pool, there's no nothing. It was just grass. And, you know, I'd like to say our family is a family where we have a lot of imagination and we like to think outside the box. And we said, what should we do out there? We have so much space. So yeah, we did a pool and you do, you know, a barbecue and whatever. But being that it's in Canada, and if you ask my dad this question, you'd say, like, it's a dream his whole life to have a hockey rink. And we have the space for it. We have nothing but space. So we decided, why not build a rink? But it's in my dad's nature and in the family's nature that if we're going to do something, it's going to be cooler and something no one's ever seen before. So that was kind of the seed where how it got built. But for 9 years, or for 8 or 9 years, it was private. No one knew about it. No one talked about it. It wasn't. I never would post it to social media. It's also a different culture where people got a lot more open on social media compared to back then.
Yeah.
But it was never meant to be a social media star or, a content maker. It was meant to be a fun time. And for many years, it was a fun time. And it ended up blowing up into something like
So
that.
what possessed you guys to take it to the social media stage?
So it's an interesting question. And nothing possessed us. It wasn't our intention. That's how things played out.
It was just that good that people had to.
It's an
write
interesting
about it.
story. How it started was when COVID hit. And for some reason, when COVID first happened, everyone was on their phone all the time. No rinks were open in the city of Toronto. And maybe those two things created a perfect storm where everyone wanted content. There's nothing to talk about. There's nothing to whatever. And what first happened was my mom woke up in the morning. Like, my parents wake up very early, and they posted a picture of the rink. And my mom doesn't know Instagram. She doesn't know how that stuff works. So she put hashtags on it. And someone saw it on the hashtag, like a random person, like hashtag rink or something. And they reposted it. And then someone else reposted it. And it got to a small page with 100 followers, and they reposted it. And somehow it got picked up to a bigger rink page, it's called ODR Heaven. I think that would be the,
I think I know
ODR
that
Heaven?
account,
So he's the nicest guy, and he comes all the time. But how many followers does he have? I don't know. Like at least in the thousands or something, maybe 100,000. But he posted it. And by 12 o'clock, and this was all at 5 in the morning and 6 in the morning, by 12 o'clock, NHL had posted it.
Oh,
and
wow.
everyone had posted it. ESPN, Sportsnet, SportsCenter, The Score, Budweiser, name a brand in Canada, and they posted about it and they talked to us about it. And the DMs were crazy that day. But yeah, so it blew up in one day, and it wasn't on purpose. That's how it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
That's crazy.
That is crazy. Like, some people are out here trying to go viral.
I know.
You
And
guys
we're
just
private
did.
people, and we weren't trying. And half of our thoughts that day were, let's slow it down. Like, we're not getting out there. Yeah. But that was the natural progression. And even to this day, like, I'm not posting every day and, trying. All the cool people that have came to the rink message us, or most of them. And we're going with the flow is a good way to put it.
For sure.
That makes it a little bit better, actually, a little bit.
It's
'Cause you're not
organic.
posting about it, and everyone wants to know, what is this about? They want to come for themselves because they don't see it all over. So
There's like a mystery behind it.
For sure, yeah. It's like it's definitely like a landmark in the making, for sure. Right?
So that's the little bio I wrote on Instagram, a landmark in the making. I thought it was a cool line to put on there. Yeah. But that's what we're going for. That why not? Why shouldn't it be something that can be celebrated in Toronto? And we did a lot of cool work with it, and it could be a cool spot for, people like to say celebrities, and it's like the celebrities come. That's what catches people's eyes. But the first year when it blew up, our thought was not celebrities. The first thing that we did especially considering it was COVID, many people could say there was a mental health pandemic equal to the COVID pandemic. And I know it gets political, and not to get political, but a lot of people were going through a hard time. And what our family decided to do was open up the rink for the community. So we had every different type of, the girls hockey teams, girls figure skaters, boys teams. We had blind hockey out there. We had, like right now we have pride hockey, autism, anyone that needed the rink and, their lives would be enhanced and they would really appreciate coming out there. We did that, and it was a full day of work for almost a year. Every day we had a new group of people coming, 2, 3, 4 groups of people. We had the neighborhood kids. We had anything that you could imagine. People were flying in to come skate, but we opened it up to the city of Toronto, and that's what the rink and the Rink of Dreams was. And as a result, it got so much press that celebrities then came. And then, we had bookings and things like that. But that was its origin.
That's honestly amazing.
That's really cool.
How, you guys.
It's more my
used
mom. I like the celebrities.
It seems like your mom is like a
my
great
mom
lady.
is the nice one that says, let's open it up for nice people.
That's amazing.
She's nice, and I'll shout her out for that.
Yeah, shout out to your mom, man.
Yeah.
So you were talking about celebrities coming to the rink.
Yeah.
Do you have any great stories with meeting anyone?
Tons. Tons
I bet
of
you
that.
do, yeah.
So let's do it in order of
Sure, yeah.
of who was the first celebrity to come.
Yeah.
And the first one before anyone was Trudeau, which is funny.
Oh, really?
People don't
Wow.
know anything about the Trudeau story, and it's because he didn't come for the rink.
Why did he come? He just to come hang out with you guys?
So he came because we have a family friend that's a filmmaker, and they just like the house to do shots. So he was doing a documentary, and Trudeau was in the documentary. So they had Trudeau, you know, obviously he came to the house. He did the clips that he needed to take, and then he toured the house, and he saw the rink, and he went crazy, and he ran outside to it. He was drawn by it. And say what you like about Trudeau, he was really nice in person. I'm not his biggest fan in the world, but he was nice. A lot of people say, why do you invite him? It's not like, obviously he took out a Sharpie and signed "Go Habs Go" on the rink. No. And it's a rink with the Leafs logo in the middle in Toronto. It's arrogance a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
There's a little bit of arrogance. Who does that? He didn't ask. He wrote "Go Habs Go" in big, smiling and laughing at it, but whatever.
Well, I guess when you're the prime minister,
You do what you
can
want,
do what
right?
you want,
But he was a nice person, like incredibly nice. Like you wouldn't imagine that. You could kind of see why he's prime minister when you meet him because he's personable,
Right.
right? Like he definitely has that draw to him. You know, policy aside, just as a person. But yeah, so he loved the rink, and then what's funny is sometimes I worked in politics for a good amount of years in my life, and I have a lot of friends in that circle, but we have a lot of family friends that, you know, they work in that field. And every time we have someone who sometimes they'll do a dinner with Trudeau or they'll meet Trudeau, and Trudeau will bring up the rink to like our family friends and be like,
Really? Wow.
like, you know, the people with the rink and stuff like that. So he knows all about it. He likes it.
That's amazing, dude.
But you know what? To be nice, we would invite Trump out there to even it out. We have both sides.
Get them on there both and
Yeah.
have them face each other.
But the first,
Like, damn, Trump versus
what do you
Trudeau.
think would happen in that?
Who knows,
Trump
man?
would kill Trudeau. It would not be close.
No.
It wouldn't be close. Trump would be throwing hits. Trump the
would be-
puck in the corner. Do you think Trudeau's coming out of that nicely? Like, he'd get killed. Like it wouldn't be funny, but
That'd be hilarious.
that would be good content.
Yeah, for sure.
And Trump's the type of guy that would do it. He would do it. Like
He would learn how to play hockey.
He would
in
learn
a
how to
year.
play and dust him. Like, it wouldn't even be close. But the first big, like when the rink blew up, the first big hockey guy that we had was Barber. And Barber's
Barber,
like, we love Barber. Barber's like our biggest ambassador. He always posts us. He always shouts us out. He always tags us. Like we have a really nice relationship with him. And like to me, he's a celebrity. Like if you brought it up in America, like, you know, less, but in Canada, I would say he's pretty big. And like I grew up watching him and like all.
Same.
And what he does, to see it in person is insane. Like it's actually a really cool experience to be on the ice with him because his hands are unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like what he could do with the puck is crazy. So that was like, the coolest thing for me at the time. Like I was all ready for him to come.
Did he teach you some tricks? Like
He taught me. He's nice that way where he wanted to teach me. He teaches people. Like he does that for hire sometimes and he does content, but he tried to teach me, I don't know how to explain it. Like it's easier to show, but it's a fake slap shot with, but it's
where
a
it just
motion
goes,
where you wind up,
Okay.
you follow through, but then you hit the puck back.
Oh,
So it looks like you fully took the shot.
Like that Kucherov thing?
no.
Kind of like you kind of have to see it in person where you make contact with the puck, but then you stop it on the other end of the puck and pull it back, and it looks like a full shot. And he does it so easily, and I was doing it for days on end. I kept trying. I'm okay at it, but I don't know how he could get so good at that. Like it's lethal because it looks like a full shot.
Deceptive for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And you played hockey when you were younger, growing up, like
Yeah, growing up I played. I was never a professional. Like I was never on that circuit.
Yeah.
But I liked it. Like I'm a big hockey guy. Like I'll play all the time.
Yeah.
And growing up, we had shinny out there all the time.
Yeah.
So this is like the shinny spot, as you can imagine.
Would you
For
have
sure.
ever thought that you'd have these guys come to your rink?
Never. I never would have thought that. But I like to say I have an imagination in life. Like I'm never like, this will never happen or something, or I'm never extremely thrown off by the things that happen. Like I go with the flow, but it just kind of happened naturally. And it was interesting, like how everything happened and how it played out. But especially at the start, it was cool. Like it was cool to play with Barber, and it was cool to have like as everyone came, like it was cool.
Yeah. It's definitely surreal. Like it goes from just being like your backyard rink to now like
Yeah,
you got,
to-
like Barber.
What's
you
cool
look
is,
up to.
to me, the coolest is not the guests. The coolest is that people know about
Yeah.
it.
Right,
And people
right.
will bring it up to me and be like, you're the Rink of Dreams or something. Like, I've met people in Miami and they're like, I love the rink and I know all about the rink. Like, I was golfing in Miami and I got paired with like a couple kids from New Jersey and they knew all about the rink. They followed us and everything.
Wow, dude.
So we don't have as many followers as a big account does, but the followers doesn't tell the story. Because some people have 1 million followers and they couldn't sell one thing. You know, they don't have any comments, they don't have any whatever. Like, I like to think we have a little community and we try to have our fans out to the ice as much as we can. And I think that's cool. Like, to have a following is like one of the coolest things you could have. Like, even you guys, I see your clips all the time. You don't have the most followers in the world,
No.
compared to other people, but I see you guys all the
The
time.
engagement.
But you were saying like the following, the community is important.
Community, yeah.
But having a good community versus having like a bad community, there's a difference there, you know?
Yeah,
like
for sure.
if you know, especially like what we're doing, we're controversial a lot of the times, right?
Oh yeah, what
So,
makes you controversial?
I don't know. We just
I'm
say
controversial and I'm on my best behavior today.
things. We want to hear those hot takes, dude.
Yeah, so I'm not coming on here to drop my hottest takes in the world. I'll get canceled in 10 seconds. I need to get paid a lot more to get canceled.
Yeah.
I will get canceled though at some point in life. I'm looking forward to
Looking
it.
forward to it.
I like the attention, good or bad. Like, honestly, I like that stuff. Like, I find it funny and
Yeah, yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
The coolest thing about getting canceled is the comeback story. Like, it's on lock. You get canceled, then you have your comeback story. That's cool too. Like,
Yeah, the comeback for sure.
I wanted to talk a little bit about that Zamboni again because I just remember
oh yeah.
like
That's a
you
good
literally have
pivot. That's a career-saving pivot.
you literally have like a,
From going
Like,
canceled.
once you get me going on getting canceled, let's go straight to the Zamboni talk.
like
So the Zamboni is really cool. What I find interesting about the Zamboni is we have a cool rink. The sound is cool. The lighting is cool. Everything is cool. The Zamboni was got not for content. We got the Zamboni because we needed to clean the ice in a faster way. Like that was about ice cleaning, and it's progressed to be like the coolest part about the rink. Everyone takes pictures. Everyone wants to know. So yeah, the Zamboni is an extreme custom order. Everyone asks us, where'd you get it? I don't love to say because it's a lot of work. We put a lot of work into being original. And then we don't like to just say, this is where we got it. Everyone, copy us. But the people that are serious about it will help. Like there's another really cool rink in Ottawa. And they're the nicest people, and you think it's a competition, but no, they help us, we help them, and we talk everything about like what goes into it, what's the ice, like all these little things. But the Zamboni is really unique. It's the only one in Canada. It's one of 4 in North America. The NHL uses the other ones, like for the Winter Classic. Wow. It's special for outdoor rinks. That's why it's a mini size, but you need a big one. Couldn't do our ice because the turning. It's all about the turning. Right. But yeah, it took a couple months to come. It's a really funny story because my mom, she loves the rink. Obviously, like she goes all about the rink, and she plans everything. She has her own events, but she doesn't know exactly the technical details. That's all my dad. My dad does the technical stuff, including the Zamboni, and we don't love to tell my mom because it's a stress. It's a stress, and you don't know the stress until you're experiencing it, because sometimes we like to have no cap to the imagination and we like to just go all the way out. So what was funny about the Zamboni is I don't think she knew that much about what was happening. We just told her we had a shipment coming that day, and we're all waiting in the library, like looking out, and she sees a Zamboni come. All the neighbors are stopped in their tracks. They're going insane. Everyone's stopping. Like, what is going on? Like, have you seen a Zamboni shipment in your life? It's one of the weirdest things you'll ever see. It comes hoisted up in a big thing.
Oh my god!
And she was going insane.
That's hilarious.
It was a dramatic day that day. But yeah, it's really, really cool. Like, it's something cool, and it's what you could take from it is it's an investment that we do to make the ice the top quality ice. Everything we do is about quality of experience and ice. It's summer, obviously. If it was winter, I would show you the ice and we would get it on camera. But what's unique about it is, for people that know hockey and know the sport, there's 2 different experiences. One is indoor, and that's amazing ice because you can control everything. You can control the temperature in the building, the temperature in the ground, and there's no snow. There's no outdoor factors. So you get great ice, but the view is terrible. It's like just lights and like a closed off room. Like you've seen a hockey rink before, unless you're going to Scotiabank Arena or something, but I'm talking about where normal people skate. You're coming for the ice. Or there's an outdoor experience, which is a great view. It feels Canadian. It feels like it's a Canadian value that you're skating outdoors and it's really cool, but the ice is bad. And the ice is bad because there's factors you can't control. When it rains, that kills the ice. When it snows, that kills the ice. The ice is choppy. It ruins your skates. It ruins your stick. We have indoor ice. It's perfect ice, perfect to an indoor quality, NHL standard. Measured with, we work a lot with MLSE. They've come to the rink all the time. We talk to them, and I talk to their ice people. It's that quality. Look at the outdoors with the trees and everything. When the snow hits the trees, we say, and Blog TO said, that's what it's like to be Canadian. That's like a Canadian experience, like in one unique spot. Plus, there's privacy, and it's a private place.
Right. Yeah. Only like Canadians could really like.
Am I a good hype person? Can I hype up a rink or not?
Yeah.
I should be a salesperson. But really, I'm not a good salesperson. I could talk about the rink because I speak from the heart and I speak from these are my real experiences that are honest. And if I had to sell an energy drink, I wouldn't know what to say. Like, I don't know about that stuff.
Yeah.
But everything with the rink is authentic.
For sure. Yeah, we can tell that. Like, it's definitely like coming from the heart. Like,
it's a passion project.
Yeah,
like, it's a cool thing that like I'll work in whatever job I'm doing at the time, and then I'm excited to work on the rink and do rink stuff because that's fun. And blowing it up and getting it crazy is fun. But we could talk more about, because you guys deal with content and content creators and their rise and how it gets out there, right?
Yeah, we do.
Am I wrong?
No, we do. Yeah. But so like it's interesting like how you work a job and you also do this on the side. Have you ever thought of like possibly making this your full-time thing? Yeah.
Maybe people support me more, I'll do it more. If people find it cool, I'll speak more. You know, sometimes it became a little bit of a job because we pivoted the rink into a lot of bookings and doing private rentals. Like Apple rented out the rink, Apple California, and they came in from California to do iPhone ads out here. And insane content for that. We had big A-list companies, really cool companies that I could go on for a lot, and that's its own business that I do, and you know my parents do. But yeah, it could be a business, but really the business that I like, that I think is most reasonable to grow, is these tournaments that I'm having.
Yes.
And I call it the Canadian Classic, and that's my brand, the Canadian Classic.
Amazing.
And we have tournaments called the Canadian Classic, and what it is, and we had one in the winter, and we're having one in the summer for basketball. But what it is, and this is going to be the least professional way to put it, but I'm just going to speak from the mind, like speak off the cuff, like from the heart. It started with this idea that first, it's interesting with social media. How do you grow on social media? And what even is social media? The idea of social media is that you have everyone, your friend group, your contacts in one place. It's all centralized online on your phone. And if you think about it, that's a crazy concept. And like, tell someone from the 60s, go back in time, like about something like that. That's insane. And then everything's taking place on one thing on your phone, and we're living our whole lives on your phone. And what if you got all the people that you see on your phone? And who do you see? You see your friends, but you also see Nelk, and you see Josh Richards, and you see Six Buzz, and you see Canadian Party Life. What if we got all those people in the same room at one event, all for charity, all promoting a charity, but also promoting, you know, people can take pride that these are Canadian people. It's Canadian influencers. It's the Canadian people that you know and that you love, like, you know, that you're fans of, all at one event, all posting about it, all talking about it. Imagine the buzz that generates. Imagine the talking that generates. So that was I don't know, it was just a cool idea that struck me, that if you're on your phone that day, let's say you only follow Six Buzz, but you don't know Nelk, or you don't know the smaller people also, right? Like you don't know Aiden Dale, but you know Six Buzz, so you'll see it. Let's say you don't know any of those people, but you know Aiden. You'll see it. Yeah. Let's say you know Nelk. Let's say you know Canadian Party Life. Eventually, you're going to see it, and you're going to hear about it, and it's going to be talked about, and it's all for charity. That's a cool concept, and that's what the Canadian Classic is. That's how it was created. But it's also cool that it takes pride in, like, I don't know. I find it cool that, like let's say you follow Nelk. It's cool to see them collab with Six Buzz.
Yeah.
It's cool to see them collab with another person that I like because I kind of relate to it, that they're Canadian. They're from where I'm from.
Right.
And you take pride in that. It's an interesting thing.
I think that's one of the things about like Canada is that we don't really have too much of
we don't
an
do
identity.
that.
Yeah, we don't do
in LA,
things.
look what they do in LA. Why can't we be like that? I mean, there's not a lot of great things about LA, but at least they stick together. At least they promote each other.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's why people move to LA because they want to be a part of that. We could have the same vibe in Toronto.
Yeah.
And I'll change the culture on that.
Yeah, Canadians bringing up Canadians, right?
Canadians should bring up other Canadians.
For sure.
And that's what me and you guys are doing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm not big. I don't know if you guys would say you're big or not, but I see you guys all the time on TikTok.
No, I wouldn't say we're
not
big.
big.
No.
But you're getting there. And the Rink
yeah.
of Dreams has a funny thing where when people come, this is going to sound weird, but I swear to God, when people come here, they always come at your size, and then within the year, they blow up, and they're the biggest thing.
Oh, yeah.
It always happens. Always.
Hopefully.
Like it's like clockwork. It's crazy. That's why sometimes I'm like, I should start a business that has no data, no any numbers behind it. But I swear to God, if you come, you're gonna be so big. That's just it. Always happens.
It's 100%
Like,
guaranteed.
we're clipping
gonna happen.
It's magic. It's a dream. It's Rink of Dreams. That's the magic of the rink. But that's how it goes.
So tell us about like the tournament. So you were saying that they also happen in the winter. Like explain.
Yeah,
that.
so the winter is a hockey tournament, and you know it's the same name, Canadian Classic, and obviously hockey brings Canadians together, right? So a good way to put the whole tournament, separate from how I just put it, is that it's a unifier. It brings everyone together, right? So everyone wants to play hockey, everyone wants to help for charity, and everyone is at an advantage when you're all boosting each other on social media.
Yeah.
When everyone's talking about it, it's the talk. And for the winter one, my analytics on Instagram, we had around 1.5 million clicks onto the profile. The story views were in the hundreds of thousands. Everyone was clicking it. Everyone was talking and engaging. But what was I about to say? What was the original question with the rink?
Wait, tell me like a time where it was like a crazy story at the rink. Maybe at one of these tournaments or something with some sort
I could say a crazy one before one of the tournaments. So an interesting one was do you know the boys in 98?
Yeah.
So I had the boys in 98 to shinny, and what I do with the rink is people message all the time. We get the craziest messages, and I'm easygoing. Like I'm more chill of a guy. Like people will message me, sure, come. Like I'm down to skate. At the surface of it, I'm just down to play hockey. Like I'm down to just have plans any night. I'm very competitive and I love to play an organized game. So the boys in 98 hit me up and they're like, let's reach. It'll be good vibes. They'll bring Alk. And you know we'll drink a little bit and play hockey, and it'll be they'll drink more than a little bit. Like, they go crazy with it, but
I saw that video. Yeah,
they send, as they say. But they came for the first time, and they've been so many times. They love it at the Rink of Dreams.
sure, yeah.
But they came, and then I had some other friends that came, and it was such good vibes. We had such a nice game going, and like we were really into the game, so we were really into the teams. And then, you know, obviously when people come, they story the rink. And then Kyle from Nelk just responded to one of the stories and was like, can I reach? I'm in Toronto. I want to join the games. And like, because we're storying that we're so into the games, he's like, I'm in. So he came with 3 friends, just literally just to play. And it was not even like talking or anything. Like it was my first time meeting him, and that was really cool. And he was pretty big, like by the time he came. But yeah, we just went right into it. We just started playing games, and it felt like such a surreal night because it was like, you know, I didn't know the boys in 98. I didn't know Nelk. I didn't know anyone, but we were into the games, and everyone was saying cool stories about Instagram and about life and about hockey. But that's like the beauty of the rink, because it's hockey, but it's networking and it's like meeting cool people.
It's the one thing that like you guys can just bond like easily on. Like,
Yeah.
you know, if you like hockey and they like hockey, you might not know who they are. You might know nothing about them. But they come play hockey, and now you guys are boys. Like
that's how you meet.
You know?
That's how you meet people. It's a cool concept, and I want to transition the rink. It's always an idea that I had, but it's not an idea that's, there's a lot of work behind it, but the rink could be a great place for a podcast. I mean, that's what we're doing here.
Yeah.
But for any type of thing, that platform with communication, if you've seen The Shop, have you heard of that show? It's called The Shop with LeBron.
Yeah.
And what do they do in that show? It's in a barber shop, and they cut people's hair. Well, they have a conversation. He's had Drake and he's had Obama. I think, I don't know about that, but like he's had really cool guests. Why do they do it in a barber shop? Because you're comfortable, you talk when you're getting your hair cut. That's natural to humans. That's what makes us feel natural. What's natural to Canadians? Skating on the ice, playing hockey. That's how you get the best conversation. So it's an idea that I always had, it's one thing that maybe I'll pursue as the rink goes on. But yeah, the rink yields a lot of cool stories like that, and that's how we met Nelk, and that's how they came. And Nelk loves it. They come out all the time. They get fired up for the rink. It was funny. They'll message me in the summer when they have their headquarters. I don't know where it is. Like I've never been, but like all the boys there will be like, we're rollerblading in preparation for the rink. Like we're putting in the work. We're ready to get a skate in, and they take it seriously. Like when we play shinny, they're into it. They were scouting goalies and stuff. Like we had, Josh Rosenzweig. He's an OHL goalie. They had him in net just because they wanted the edge, like for shinny games. Like they were bringing in like professional level goalies. I think when Kyle came one of the times, he hit up Matthews and was like, "Reach, come, bring Marner, let's get shinny going." But yeah, they love it out there.
That would have been next level.
That would
now
be
you guys
crazy.
a full ass NHL game.
Yeah,
Players in the world.
Marner would be nasty out there.
I bet. Yeah. Are you a Leafs fan?
I'm a big Leafs fan.
Big Leafs fan. So what do you think about them? Like they're constant losing in the first.
So look, it's a sickness. Like at this point, it's not even normal. Like if you still like them, like you're somewhat sick in the head. But I like them still.
You gotta get the Leafs on here. All of them.
There's more to come on that, but we'll see next winter what plays out with the Leafs and stuff. Yeah. But we're gonna we already have some agreements with some big NHL guys to come skate next winter.
Nice.
I think they would love it. Like it's an open invitation for any NHL players.
Yeah.
A lot of OHL players hit us up, and they hit us up because they're just big on social media. They're kids, right?
Right.
And they know the boys in 98, and they know Nelk and whatever, and they'll message me, and I'm like, yeah, sure, come skate. I played with, and I'm gonna forget his name, but on Peterborough, and it was like one of the best players I've ever played with in my life. It was insane.
Really?
Robertson.
Nick Robertson?
The brother.
Oh, what's his name? The guy in Dallas, right? Dallas Stars? Or is he related?
I forget the name.
but
I'm
Robertson.
so bad with the names. It's
Is he in the
unbelievable.
NHL now?
No, he's in the OHL now.
Different
There's
guy
3
then.
brothers, I think.
Okay.
Actually, I don't know that much about it.
Okay.
But the last name is Robertson. But unbelievable. Like it was really cool to play with the OHL guys because how they find you, and it's next level. Like that was the coolest I've ever played.
It
with.
really shows like the discrepancy though.
Yeah,
in, like,
we had
skill, right?
Brady Leavold, if you've heard of him. He used to be on Tampa Bay,
Okay.
but he was a fighter. He was more of a fighter, and he has a really cool podcast that other people should check out too. His story is that he had the drug addiction, and he went through a really hard time in life, and he's turned it around, and now he does. He speaks on that, and he speaks on his life, but it's called mental health hockey, and he comes to the rink a lot to promote mental health and mental health awareness. But he was an NHL guy, and he comes to the rink, and it's insane, like how he skates. His hands are insane, and he was,
he's a fighter.
more penalty minutes than shifts, like than ice time. But he was great on the rink. Like he's really, it's amazing to see him play.
Yeah.
Wow, and you can imagine a guy like Matthews coming on here.
Oh,
who's like
Matthews would be
known for his
nasty.
skill,
Yeah.
right?
Matthews would be crazy out here.
Yeah, that's
Who's
that's
like
the dream.
one person you'd like really want at this rink? Like
So it's cool to think about. I think Bieber is one I really
That's
want.
what I was gonna say.
I always say Bieber, and I just think that would be cool. Like that would really put us at the next level of like everyone knows Bieber. That would be really
We
cool.
had a Biebs brew before we came.
Yeah. And we were really close to getting Bieber. They almost, he was about to come. And then I think it was like raining and whatever, and it's outdoors, and that fell through. But we're going to get him. I'm very confident on that.
would be amazing.
at the start of last season, before the ice was put up, just for fun, I put on I wrote down on a pen and paper who would I think is like the coolest to come to the rink, and almost everyone I wrote down came.
Wow.
So it's
Wow,
funny
that's
how
like
that
manifestation
happens.
or something.
It's
Yeah,
manifestation, but I don't believe in that stuff
Yeah,
that
you
much.
don't
Like
know?
we're not about to get into the astrology and the
that's
stars
right.
and everything, but
You don't want to be that controversial out of it.
not controversial. I don't know. I'm not big into that stuff. But yeah, sometimes it's cool to like speak out loud. Like what would
Yeah.
be cool? Like have set goals and stuff.
Right.
Sure.
To do it like that, that's cool. And I wrote down just a ton of different people. But one would be also like Portnoy and Barstool.
Right.
And it was cool because when he was in Toronto, I put out a story, tag us, tell him to come.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so many people tagged us. It was amazing. It was a miracle that he didn't come. Like I thought for sure he would come, but he knows about it because we met him. I met him once.
okay.
And my dad met him once. Like we met him in Florida. I like to go to Miami a lot. And this was kind of a cool story. He was sitting, if you know Bell Harbor Mall, it's a very luxury mall in Miami.
Oh yeah, I've been there.
And you'll see all the stars. If you ever want to see a star, go to the mall. Go to that mall. You'll see them. So I was just walking, and we hear the voice. Like you know how often you hear Portnoy's voice on your content. So you hear that voice, and I'm like, is that coming from behind me or my phone? And he's just a normal guy, just having a coffee on the phone, talking about Penn, talking about Barstool, just going off. And this was right when the Call Her Daddy drama was going down, and he was just on the phone like, Sophia, blah 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 blah, she's got to get it in line, and I'm just listening like, what is going on right now? So when he hung up the phone, we talked, and he talked to my dad, and literally down to earth, he talked for 30 minutes, 40 minutes. He sat down with my dad and with everyone, literally like the most down to earth guy. He was a really cool guy to meet, but we'd like to get him out there.
Does he play hockey? Like, does he skate?
I don't know, but he does. He used to do videos where he would, shoot on a goalie.
Oh, okay.
So that would be what would get him out here to do.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, dude.
We do a lot of stuff with Barstool Canada, though. Barstool Canada messages us a lot, and we're going to have a big Barstool event. If it wasn't for COVID, the rink would be 50 times stronger, and it's not on our end, but all these cool events got planned, and then Ford comes out, there's a COVID, whatever. Now, for no reason, only 10 people can be outdoors. Doesn't make sense to me, but that's how it went. And then you can't work with big sponsors and big organizations when those things happen. Yeah. But we had all these cool things lined up. We had, you know how in the Leafs playoff games, they show fans like at Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
They canceled that for COVID, but they were going to show it at the rink, like on TV. There's a lot of cool stuff that they were going to show.
It's too bad.
It's too bad with COVID. But anyways, COVID is ending, and now we're on to bigger and better things. The best is yet to come. And the next exciting one is the summer tournament.
Right.
The Canadian Classic in the summer. And let's get into that. And
tell us-
talk
tell us
that a
about
little
that.
bit.
Tell us about it, man.
So it's the same concept as the winter, but it's
So you
50
never did
times
this before,
bigger.
right?
We've
This is
never
the
had
first
the
time.
basketball before.
Okay.
Okay, so it's basketball.
And this is going to be our second tournament that we do, but it's going to be way bigger than the winter one. Way bigger names, like, everything.
Do you want to name who might pull up? Or?
Nothing's set in stone, especially when you work with big names. It's
Yeah.
not set in stone. But the winter one was Nelk and Full Send, Josh Richards, Six Buzz, who will like Six Buzz. I'm doing it in collaboration with Six Buzz, so it's me and Six Buzz, and they're a great to plan the whole thing with. Canadian Party Life, they'll be there. They're the nicest people ever. I love Canadian Party Life. Everyone I'm naming is going to be there.
All right, so at least those guys will be there.
Basically, but not set in stone.
Awesome.
We're going to get a lot of the basketball people, like in the basketball world, which is, it's a lot of basketball influencers like K Showtime, if you've heard of him, signed to Drake, a lot of the OVO guys, a lot of big name Toronto rappers and singers, and a lot of people that maybe they're not a celebrity, but they're cool people. Like they'll own a cool club. They'll own like the cool lunch spot and dinner spot in Toronto.
Yeah.
A lot of TikTokers, like, I don't know if he's coming for sure, but he's a close friend, Aaron Van Campen. He asks you what you do for a living. He comes to the door. And he's been here. He's done a couple of videos here. Everyone. It's going to be a collision of everyone. All the Toronto people in one place. All the Canadian people. Some people from LA are flying in. But it's going to be the coolest names. If you're a fan of any of these people, you got to watch. It's all going to be live streamed. And we're going to have like you could say smaller people, like you guys will be there, I hope.
Yeah.
Everyone's
I'd
going to
love
be
to.
there, but every little, like the medium ones, the cool ones, everyone is going to be all colliding at one event. It's going to be such a talk of that day, and the live stream is going to be insane. Like if you like any of these people's content, like if you like Nelk and watch Nelk, it will be cool to watch them on the live stream because they're very candid.
Where's it live streaming?
We're going to put out that message
Later on.
when the tournament comes out. We're going to say this is where it's live stream. It's going to be impossible to miss
Yeah,
because it's
yeah,
going to
yeah.
be put out everywhere.
Yeah, man.
But we'll put that out when it comes out. But it's going to be really something to see. Really cool. Like at the winter one, people always ask, what's it like to see Nelk? And like they come to the rink all the time. What is it like? They're exactly how they are on the YouTube videos, but probably funnier.
Really? Because they're more like
Because
unfiltered, right?
they're more unfiltered, and they're pretty unfiltered for the videos.
Yeah.
Like I don't think they're filtered at all.
No.
But it's also like when you could just be yourself and like drink and smoke and like play hockey. It's gonna yield the best version of yourself. But yeah, there was some really cool stories with them. Like the first time they came, no one wanted to take the puck off of Kyle. Everyone was
they're,
shy.
like, afraid.
Everyone was shy because I don't know. People were starstruck.
Yeah.
No one wanted to take the puck off of him.
It's like Drake's basketball.
Yeah, it's like Drake's
nobody
basketball
guard
league
him,
like
right?
that. And his friends are really good. Like
yeah.
the people that he brings and they all work for Full Send. They're really good at hockey and stuff like that. They're a tough team to beat. They were I think they were in the finals for the winter tournament. But the boys in 98 beat
won
them.
that, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
won
The
that.
boys 98 won, eh?
The boys in 98, I wouldn't have said that they were the favorites, but they went on a run. The worst was Six Buzz, and Six Buzz was mad. Okay, they came to the tournament with people who don't know how to play hockey.
Okay.
Okay, so-
Right? And they were there for vibes, and everyone else was there competitive. And now Six Buzz is they're a little fired up for the basketball one.
Right.
They're gonna be going hard. Like they're building a lineup. They're dropping some names, like people who are in the finals, in the NBA finals, like they're like, yeah, we're speaking to them. We're speaking
Oh, yeah,
to them.
they're-
Like
fair.
I'm like, oh yeah, you guys are taking it seriously.
Yeah.
Now
like,
they're-
like
Steph
they
Curry's pulling up.
remember the loss.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
They got Steph Curry pulling up on their team. Like, oh, just
literally,
one.
they're going hard. They want to win this one
Oh,
badly,
yeah.
but
they're just recruiting. The
people
whole
like
NBA.
competitiveness.
Yeah.
It's cool to see.
yeah.
it.
Oh
It's
yeah,
competitive
dude.
like that.
Competitive stuff is
It's competitive, but
amazing.
it will be cool
But
to
it's
see
fun,
like
too.
like like Josh Richards or something, like in the competitive
Playing
environment.
basketball.
but
Well,
Yeah.
also, like it's cool to see these guys play basketball. too.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like,
It
you
was
always
cool.
see
Like the
them
first
morning.
time Josh Richards came to the rink, it was I felt like that was like a starstruck moment, even though I'm not that like a big TikTok fan or something. But he looked very pronounced. Like he looked very like this is a celebrity. This is an A-list celebrity. He just looked cool like that. Like I don't know. Some people have like a look to them. Like I love Pavel Barber. I wouldn't say he has like a look that he's famous like crazy.
Yeah.
But his hands, when you see the hands and he does
Yeah,
the
you
moves,
understand,
you're
yeah.
like that's why he's famous, right? But
yeah.
it was cool when Josh Richards pulled up, and that was cool for all the girls. All the girls, all the guys asked me about Pavel and about
for sure.
everyone else, but the girls love Josh Richards. They're like the best guest I ever had.
Oh, for that, yeah.
Just for that reason. It was funny when at the winter tournament, I had like my ex at the time, and then we were in like a weird talking stage or whatever, but it was like low key that she came to the tournament, and then she was in Josh Richards' video, and like everyone saw the video, and like all my friends were like, "You're with her. She's at the tournament," and like just by virtue of being at the tournament, like this is the power of the tournament in a funny way. Like everyone saw her like on Boys in 98 and on Nelk's video and on Nelk's story, and then I got exposed there. Like that was not great, but it's crazy how it could grow and blow up like how people live on the phone and everything's on the phone, right?
And that's interesting that you say that. Like it's almost like the world's like it transitioned to online.
I know, and who
pandemic.
thinks that it's a good thing? Like I don't even like.
Do you
I'll
think it's a
roll.
good thing?
I'll roll with the punches, and like I love it. Like you got to deal with the cards you're dealt. Like I'm not gonna change the culture of the world, but I don't know if it's that much of a good thing. Like look at who our role models are in life. Like we value what TikTokers say. We value what sports players say. Like why should I care what LeBron James says about like I value a plumber, I value a teacher's opinion on our economy and on our way of life more than LeBron James. He's so far removed from life. What is his business talking about it and like making endorsements and stuff like that? Like out of whack. Like it's blown out of whack our values a little bit. So that would be my take on that.
Society.
It's a crazy society.
Yeah.
LeBron is not invited to the rink.
You're not a LeBron fan. Are you?
I'm not a LeBron guy.
Jordan
No,
fan?
he can come.
Oh,
he can come. I would take him in one-on-one.
I was gonna say, wait, why are you not invited? He's sick, LeBron. Wait, are you an MJ or LeBron guy?
I'm MJ, but like obviously, I'm younger. Like I don't know how old you guys are. I didn't really grow up with MJ.
No.
But I don't like LeBron. I'm not a LeBron person at all.
Well, I guess Gianluca, like he's got the J's on, so like.
Yeah, he got the J's on.
He's a Jordan.
MJ seems like more like my type of person.
Yeah. He seems very competitive.
You know what the thing is with LeBron? LeBron cares very much about like he puts out an image out there.
Yeah.
He'll walk into the dressing room with a book in his hand. Just
Like
dying for people to
ask,
ask, like, oh wow, you're reading that book.
And then
like,
they ask
look
him,
how
like,
cool
how
you
much
are.
have you been reading?
I know,
It's
and he's on page 1. He's never on more than page 1 of the book. That's weak to me. But who am I to diss LeBron?
Hey.
You know what I mean? Like, also, like,
literature.
I'll give myself a reality check. Like, LeBron has done a lot of accomplishments in his life, right? You got to respect that. You got to respect where he's at. But sometimes there's silliness to it.
Yeah,
I like authenticity, and I love when people are authentic. And a big thing of what I do with the rink is it's very, heart to heart, authentic. We're trying to capture what it means to be Canadian, what the Canadian experience is, like a really cool pocket of what Canada is. So I value people who are authentic, like Portnoy, like Nelk. And I like to celebrate that stuff. And like people who think differently, we need that more.
Yeah.
And that's basically what the rink is in short, because, why did we think to create a rink like this? Like with NHL glass, with NHL caliber builds to the rink, with club lighting. The people who do the lighting for the rink
I noticed that.
do the
lights
lights
are
for
crazy.
44, the
Yeah.
club
Oh,
downtown
wow.
Toronto. Everything is cool about it, and that's just about having imagination and like thinking differently. And if people who listen to this, they subscribe to that thinking, like that's what I'm about, and you should follow me and be into me, and put my Instagram on this.
We're gonna tag
Which
you
is
for sure.
which
It's
is
so
Alex
true.
Weiss 71 and the Rink of Dreams. But that's what I'm about. We're trying to do something cool that's just unique and it's fun. It doesn't always have to have some deep message.
Yeah.
But if you had to apply a deep message, it's that we're trying to do something unique. If you look at Canada, I love this country and I think it's like a great place to live. But one thing that we're lacking is people who take risks and who will risk being made fun of and risk, just failing for the exchange of you tried something new and you're trying to do something cool that someone hasn't done. Look, I'm not talking, didn't invent a new medicine. I didn't invent something crazy. I shouldn't even be speaking on LeBron because he has all these accomplishments that I don't have. This is for fun. This is not, groundbreaking or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe the culture side of things, like what Six Buzz really likes about me and what I do with these tournaments is that it's a culture thing of bringing people together, and that's a culture we could change. But in the grand scheme of things, it's just a rink. It's just a fun time. But I like to be a cheerleader, and if you're going to give me a platform, I'll use it to try to change the culture in Canada. That one, we should bring people together. Look what we're doing. We're having a discussion about things. We're two creators. If you could, I don't know if I'm a creator or whatever.
Well,
I'm just a cool person.
Like, an experience.
But the second is let's change the culture in Canada. Let's be innovative.
Right.
If Canada was an innovative country and we started taking risks, it would be the greatest place in the world to live because that's what we're lacking.
Yes.
Right? And the States, for all their problems and all their issues that you could get into, they innovate. They get out there and they'll do crazy things that, like, look at Tiger King. That's like the craziest thing. But he created a farm for tigers. Like, who does that? But he did it. That was his passion. He likes tigers. I like hockey. But you follow your passion.
So who's your Carol Baskin then?
Oh, that's a great question.
The guys in Ottawa.
I think we have a lot of supporters. A lot of people attacked us. People get jealous. People make fun a lot. I attack that. I weirdly love it. I love it. Like, I was speaking to Gambles, Jimmy Gambles.
Yeah,
with Nelk. I asked him that question. How do you deal with the hate? Because he gets a lot of it.
Right.
And he was very profound. He said, I don't. I hate it.
Okay.
Not actually. Like, he has a good mindset with it, but like as a joke, he was like, I don't deal with it. I fucking hate it when I get. Can I swear on this? Like, he was like, I hate when I get the hate. I'm like, listen, me too. But he's really good with that. He gets hate, and it just fuels him. Like he just, it's cool to him, like, to get that. I kind of like I posted one reel of me on Instagram of me skating or something, and it got like 100,000 hits or 500,000 hits, but like 10,000 comments. Everyone's like, "This guy cannot skate. He's so bad at skating." Truth is, I'm not a great skater, but I liked it. I was like when I meet someone, like when I meet a girl, I'm like, look at all these people that hate me. Like it's like the coolest thing to me. I like the hate. But everything you do, whenever you do something original, you get hate. Look at Kanye.
Yes.
Kanye will take a stand to an extreme. Kanye is like the most extreme example of this because he'll do things that he doesn't even try to make it make sense to people. He doesn't even try to like make it like this is something that, there's this positive side to it. He'll just come out crazy with a crazy view that maybe in 5 years people come around
Now
to that
they
thinking.
understand it,
And then like it's almost like he sees ahead. I value that thinking a lot. But I value when people are just he does not care. If you don't care about the repercussions and that like not repercussions that are like you're hurting someone or it's damaging to someone else, but the repercussions that for yourself, like people will judge you. If you can drop that, the sky is the limit. You can almost do anything because that's the big challenge. So my biggest challenge is not a person, it's that.
It's that, right? And if you just don't even like if you don't look at it like it's a thing and you just do what you want to do.
You just do it.
You just do it, dude.
Yeah.
But
Like,
that's what the Canadian Classic, like this basketball tournament, we're celebrating people. All the people there took that risk.
Yes,
Like whether you're a professional basketball player, and a lot of NBA guys are going to come. I want to do a shout out to this guy, Connor. He runs Brody League. If you've heard of it, it's a really cool concept. It's about, he has a basketball league that it's for everyday people. There's different divisions, so there's different like skill levels to it, but it makes you feel like a star. Because the social media they do, like it's like covering the NBA, but for its own players of the league.
Right.
It's really cool how they run it.
That's
Everyone
awesome,
has like really cool jerseys. Every team has their own jerseys.
Wow,
But it's just competitive basketball, like at the end of the day.
Nice.
So he's a sponsor for the tournament, and he's doing a lot of stuff with us. But he's like a really cool thing of that. That's innovative.
Would you do that for your rink? Like do like a real league like that? Like,
Yeah, well, that's maybe a league, but first we're going to start with the tournament.
one thing at a
That's
time.
very innovative. I give a huge shout out to Connor, and people should look at Brody League and what he's doing. If you like basketball, join his league. It's really cool.
sure, yeah.
But I want to celebrate people that do things like that. People that take a risk, that are innovative, that have an imagination for it, even if it's silly. Like, follow your passion and do something cool, and I'm going to celebrate you. And I'm going to use the rink as a celebration of that. And that's why I wanted to have you guys here to let's do the podcast at the rink. Let's, combine and do something like that.
Dude, I love your way of thinking.
awesome.
Like you appreciate the innovation. You know,
Love
like
it.
innovation is a it's a tough thing because like it doesn't
Yeah.
look like innovation at first. It's disguised as like someone crazy or someone like
I know, especially when
outlandish.
people don't understand it.
It's like the new Drake album. Like he just dropped that album. It's all house
That's a good
influenced,
example. I want to have something for TikTok because every video I see on it is bashing the album.
Like, yeah.
This is like what I would say. Anything that you do, you should strive to be the best at it. Who are we to tell Drake he can't do a dance album? If Drake wanted to do jazz, if he wanted to do, shoes, if he wanted to be in landscaping, be the best at it.
OVO hardscape.
And do the best at what you do for it, and that's worthwhile in life. And I think he didn't do what people wanted, which was like rap and popular music, but he did dance. But tell me that it's bad. It's really good dance.
really good.
So you kind of have to just say, Drake is way bigger than you. Like Drake, obviously, like. And we're gonna get him to the rink. That's one person I want to come
that'd be
skate.
awesome.
I want to put out an open offer for Drake.
Right here.
Drake, you come to the rink and you bring your kid to the rink and have skating lessons whenever you want. And in exchange, I play basketball at your house. That's a basketball for hockey exchange. We have the top rink in Canada. He has a cool court that's like, really cool. That's a 1-for-1, an hour for an hour.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, sure.
I can't turn
Why
that
not?
up or down. He would turn it down.
I think he would take it if the message got out to him. He would do it. Tag Drake in the comments.
Yeah.
Dude, we're back.
Yeah, so you were talking about on the break there, like you get hate, but I'm just wondering, like, what kind of hate could you possibly get? You just run like a rink, like it should be a nice thing
You
for
think
people to.
in anything you
like,
do
it
in
doesn't
life, people try to knock you down. So a big one is jealousy. There's a lot of jealousy. I mean, it's just a fact of the world. And a lot of people say like nice house. Like it's not my house, my parents' house. Like I don't try to say that it's my, like whatever. I'm good in my own headset, but a lot of people can get jealous about that, can say things like that. Jealousy is hate, and like it all breeds. It breeds from a bad place. And it's another person's problem, like not my problem, but it's not even something I focus on. Like if you didn't bring it up, I wouldn't say this is part of the story of the rink, the jealousy and the triumph. I don't view it as that. I don't even think about these people in my life, you know, like I don't care, but sometimes people are right to hate. Like sometimes, you know, whatever. I won't get into like specific claims and things like that, but who cares?
Or maybe like the neighbors, the music's too loud or something.
The funniest thing is the neighbors never complain. The neighbors love it, and we have all the community out.
Yeah, I can't think of a reason why anyone would hate on the rink or you. I find that you're like a facilitator for community. Like you're a visionary, dude. Like you bring people together.
Thank you.
You have your resources and you use them, because a lot of people may have the same resources but don't use them. You're out here putting that together.
A cool way to put it is like at the end of the day, it's become bigger than it is because it's just a rink.
Right.
It's just hockey. There's millions of rinks in Canada. Right. What makes this one special? There's a lot like, and it's a question we think about all the time. And I mean, the facilities is really special. Everyone that comes here says it's a special facility. And like it's not by accident. There's a lot of work that we put into for that. And it's something we take pride in, but it's also the marketing behind it. Like we just, you know, how we blew it up and how we created it.
Yeah, for sure. We were talking to Alex off camera. I was just saying, like, this guy has ideas, man. He knows how to bring people together. And you bring those two things together and you have like a super like crazy like facilitator for great things.
Yeah.
And I think like Alex, like as he keeps going on, like is really gonna like make big changes or like create great things in this world. Yeah. Like I can just tell it, dude. Like I can feel it.
That's like one of the best compliments I can ever get. Yeah, I appreciate that a lot.
I'm just saying the facts.
Like you could say I'm humble. Some people would laugh right in my face if I said I was humble. I don't know. At my heart, I'm shy. And keep in mind, we had the rink for 8 years. I was never putting in people's faces saying, "Look at this rink. Look at what we have." Right. It was built organically, and now like I like to post about it because I take pride in its success, and success meaning that it got out there and people know about it, and I like the community that we built around it. And like especially the charity work that we did. Like a lot of people when we started off with the rink would come to us like near tears and saying, "Look at what you did for us. That no rink is open. The power of sport. What sport? And it's not me, and it's not even the rink, but it's the power of sport and the power of community." Right. But what's more lethal? What's more dangerous? Not dangerous, but lethal in a good way, exciting than ideas and community and people together.
Yeah. Ideas are like the lifeline of anything great. We were talking about that a little bit. It's
like 100%. Everything, it's ideas and it's execution.
Yeah.
But I can't take all the credit. I'm not the only person with the rink. A big person is my dad. So my dad is really like is my biggest role model in life. And he is an ideas person like me. I like to say I come up with good ideas, but more than an ideas person, he's an executor. Right. He will do anything. The projects he's had in his life are crazy that in one day he could do it. And the lesson I take from him is you just do it. Like you just got to get out there and do it. And if you fail, do it better.
Right. Always improving, making adjustments.
Always improve.
Right, exactly. If that's one thing we take away from this.
I like the whole aspect you're doing with the whole charity thing too. It's very good. Like bringing people together is one thing.
We did a lot of cool charity stuff out there. Offhand, it's so hard to like bring up every little thing, but we worked with High Lifeline, which is, they do a lot of stuff like in the Jewish community because I'm Jewish. Okay. You know, for people that are terminally ill and along those lines, like helping them, every type of aspect in life that you need when it's a terminally ill situation, High Lifeline deals with, and we do work with them. We do a lot of different stuff. Like we had sledge hockey, we had Paralympics, we had everything in between, like any way we could help. And people listening, like if there's a community or some type of charity type of thing that you would like to do at the rink, message us. Sometimes it's hard on the messaging because we get so many messages, it's hard to filter. But we're always open. Like we always like to do cool things like that.
Dude, that's great that you like have that charitable aspect to this, right?
It's mostly my mom.
Yeah. Your mom's like the good
You see, I keep it honest. It would be so easy for me to sit here on camera and I know that it's going out there and that you guys get a lot of views to say, I'm very charitable.
Right,
it's all me. I'm the charity person. It's mostly my mom. She is a sweetheart. She is like a really good heart, and she likes to do that stuff. And she doesn't just do it; she does it all the way. Where she'll be up early making hot chocolate for them. She'll be up out in the cold all day getting ready. And my dad also will be in the cold cleaning the ice, and I'll be cleaning the ice. Like it's a lot of work that goes into a day, all for someone that we don't know, for people in Toronto that we don't know. But we opened up the rink for the city of Toronto to say, come skate here. Now it's pivoting more. Now it's becoming more my tournaments that I do, private bookings, just because, it's a lot of work to do. It's a lot of money to do also. And, COVID has ended in many ways. Like we could get into, there's other rinks to do. Like we felt the burden that we got to be the rink for everyone right now. Yeah. But we still try to keep the name Dream and like live up to that name Dream. And like we have a lot of charitable stuff that we're doing, planning. But we like to also have, I like to have the cool people.
Yeah.
I like to have the cool, the influencers and stuff like that. But it's not always influencers. Like one of my friends that comes, Jesse Kirschenbaum, he's really cool. He's not an influencer, but he does really cool stuff in the hockey world. Right. And shout out to him. And he has a brand, Rolo Golf. Okay. I don't know. I don't even know if this is a public topic. We'll get back to that. Cool, but his brand is really cool. He does really cool stuff. Yeah. With the brand, the designs are really cool. Like I love people like that are just do cool stuff.
What kind of brand is it?
It's golfwear.
Golfwear.
It's golfwear.
Nice. Yeah, I like how your parents are on board with it too. It's really nice how all you guys.
So I'm a product of my parents.
Yeah.
I'm shy sometimes, like my dad, who may be more shy. But I'm also can go up to anyone in a room and befriend them, like my mom. I'm a weird mix of the two. I'm both introverted and extroverted. Like I'm both at the worst times, I guess. But yeah, I'm a product of my parents, and especially in the sense of imagination and trying to do cool things. And I think what I really want to project is that I'm confident, and when I'm not confident, I'm not someone that could lie about it. If I don't believe in it, it's hard for me to sell and it's hard for me to even talk on it. But I'm very confident in the Canadian Classic that's going to be a big brand, that maybe I'll move it to LA and maybe I'll move it to New York. And that could be something really cool, that it's a unifier. And the Canadian Classic, but it's all under the umbrella of the Rink of Dreams and myself, will be a tournament for years to come, that we're going to be doing it for years.
I have a question about it, Canadian Classic. Do you ever... would you ever move it around? Would you do a tour, almost like a mobile?
Why not? Why not? Yeah. Sometimes you got to say why not in life. Why wouldn't I? Maybe.
I saw, I went on a trip a couple years ago. I was in Italy with my family, and there was this mobile, basketball tournament.
Really?
They put, those tiles all around, the city, and then they'd play, a basketball tournament, similar to what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And then after, they'd have, a concert afterwards, just in the middle of the city, and then another city, they'd have it, same city.
That's a great idea. That type of stuff is right up my alley. What's funny is I'm versatile with it. Right. I could be talking about sports because that's a passion. Mm-hmm. I also love law, and I also love business. Mm-hmm. And on the side, chess. I like chess.
Chess,
which we were just talking about at the ad break. But when it comes to sports, I'll tell you what I'm passionate about with sports. Sometimes an idea will grasp me, and I'll just get an idea, or it's not even my idea, it's a concept that I just like, and I'm like, how can we bring it to life? How can we just start getting this into motion? And on sports, it's that sports is a break from your life and from all your problems. That's what sport has to be, in my opinion. And I look at, where are we going? It's not that. Sports is about bringing all your problems and having your favorite sports players talk about it. Sports is becoming political. Sports is becoming controversial. And I hear the other side. I'm not deaf ears to the other side, that it's, how can you not speak up when you have pressing issues? A lot of them, it's very serious stuff that they're concerned about. Valid. It's very valid. But you're losing. What's the beauty of sports? People often lose track of what's the main thing you're doing. And you got to keep that in mind.
Yeah, no, that's so true. We do this podcast. We may be thinking, how are we just going to grow the podcast? How are we going to get more views? Yada, yada, yada. But at the end of the day, what is it at its core? It's a conversation.
Exactly. It's a conversation.
It's people just talking about ideas. And that's really what it is at the end of the day.
100%.
And you're saying with the
That's
Rink,
what a podcast is.
Hockey.
And sport, I think at its heart is, sport is about competitiveness also. But those are things separate. Like, why do we like sports? If that's the question, it's because we immerse ourselves into a world that we understand, similar to a movie. When you watch like a Jurassic World or something, you're entering a world that you know about, that's away from your separate world,
Escape.
that your mind can go in a nice place that you could immerse yourself and enjoy it. That's what sports is. That's the beauty of sports to me. That's what I try to do with the rink, but the rink also, I like to say, has another element. It captures the beauty of sports, like even just not on a global level and a national level, just on a personal level. For me, I use it as that outlet. I have friends out there and we play hockey all the time, and that's not as cool, but it's cool for me. I like that. But also what I think the rink does cool is that it captures Canadianness, where, like, tell me, what is Canada about to you?
It's about, I feel like
It's a hard question to throw at you, but you're a professional.
It's
About multiculturalism.
Yeah,
That's, I mean, I
multiculturalism.
took political science, and that's the theme of every essay you ever do. How many essays have I written that has that word? And it's true. It's about multiculturalism. So they say it's a Canadian mosaic.
Right.
Where in the States, it's
Melting pot.
That's exactly right. Where everything was melted, all the different backgrounds melt into one pot, and that's what it means to be an American. And a mosaic is the opposite. It's out of the little smalls, out of like every little background comes a mosaic, and the beauty of the mosaic is that it all came together to look nicely. So Canada is a lot about multiculturalism and how every little identity could come together, not mold into one, but come together. But I'm still a believer that even with multiculturalism, there's still a need for common values and shared values. And everyone can agree hockey is a shared Canadian value. And everyone, Indian people, Muslim people, Jewish people, Black, white, Asian, everyone comes to Canada, but they all like the Leafs, like in Toronto. Even look at how bad they are. People still like the Leafs. And the rink kind of captures that, like, that's what the rink, like, that's what it's about.
Yeah, it's just bringing people
it's
together.
sport, but it's Canadian.
Yes.
And that's a big Canadian value.
Yeah. It very much like puts it all into like an essence of like one.
Yeah.
like,
Plus the outdoors is another thing people would say is Canadian wilderness is a big part of Canadian identity. Like our land, our mountains, our waterfalls, our oceans and water, that's a big part of being Canadian too.
Right.
And we have like the trees and the wilderness there. I say it's symbolic for Canada.
Yeah, this is Canada boiled down to like.
Yeah.
This is I would say the Rink of Dreams is the Canadian dream. Like
That's a
could
good way.
argue,
That's a
right?
cool way to put
It
it.
is
Yeah.
technically the Canadian dream, right?
We had NHL, like NHL New York,
Right.
the head offices of NHL, and like NHL messages us all the time. We're really close with the NHL. They flew out here to see the rink, and they were saying a lot of the same stuff. Like, what a Canadian experience. We always say, how is Tim Hortons not a sponsor? Because when they advertise, why do they show a cottage?
Yeah.
Because a cottage is you're subliminally telling people associate our drink with Canada, but they don't even mention Canada. Just the cottage, just the virtue of those lakes is enough to sell Canada because people associate wilderness with Canada. And I always say we got to get Tim Hortons on the boards, but that's a discussion for another time.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Did we kind of talked about it before, but who are like your dream brands to collaborate with? You talk about Apple, so like I don't know how much more you could go.
So Apple's like wasn't a collaboration on my end. They paid to have the rink, and they used the rink, and that was like a money thing, and that was really cool. But it was cool to meet them, and because it was Apple California, a cool experience for me was like these are the people that make the iPhone, right? And they were like, "What do you think about the camera? Like, what do you think about the buttons?" And I'm like, "I'm talking to someone that will change it." Like that's insane to me.
That's insane.
And like I have their text, and sometimes I'll get in their ear. I'm funny this way. Like I like to do like send funny texts sometimes, and sometimes I'll get in their ear like. I don't know. I have a little issue here. I'll be like, maybe I like the button how it was. Maybe we have to bring it back.
This guy's changing the iPhone.
I don't know if it comes back. Like you look to me for that.
10 years in the future, the next Steve Jobs, Alex Weiss.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit, dude.
Steve Jobs is a cool person.
Oh, yeah.
That was a big inspiration to me.
Who are your biggest
So
inspirations?
one of my biggest, like I have two quotes that I really like that I'd say I live my whole life off of. One is whatever, it's a longer one, but the main one is Steve Jobs, and I don't even know the quote verbatim. It's just an idea that it hits me so hard. And his idea was that every rule that me and you follow, that you and I follow, in everything, in our jobs, in our life, in work, in sports, the rules that we follow were created by people who are not different from us. Yeah. People that are not literally like, what's the difference between me and you? Am I bigger than you? I'm not talking about social media. As a person, how can you really say one person is, more than another person? Everyone does their own thing differently, but we're all human. We all have the same brain, roughly. I mean, we're all come from the same thing. The rules we follow are made by people not smarter than me. And then his next line was, you can mold these rules. You can mold the way of life that you live in because of that. Like, because it's not that different. It's not a crazy being that's, above you. Yeah. You can mold whatever you want in life. If you want to do something crazy, it can be done because you're no smarter and you're no better off or worse off than any of the people that put these rules that you follow in place. So anything can be done. It's like another way of saying dream big and follow your heart and do whatever you want. But it's like a logical way. And I'm a big legal person. Like, I want to do law and I want to go into law school. And like, that's a big passion of mine. And I'd like to say, like, my brain works very analytically, but that logic follows. I don't think anyone is smarter than me. And that's the Kanye side of me. I think I'm on par with everyone. People have better experiences than me. Yeah. People have different, like, someone in science is smarter than me on science. Oh, yeah. Because I'm not a science person. And I got to respect that and say, that's your field and that's what you do. But in what I do and what I'm special at, I'm the best in the world at that in my own mind.
Yeah. That's how you have to think. That's the mindset you got to have.
Yeah. Or at least I'm going to try.
It's like at least thing. You can't judge a fish on its ability to climb a tree.
Exactly. That's another great quote.
Yeah. But like you're special at what you do. There's no one else.
All of us are like, look at how you guys are doing a conversation right now. Yeah. I'm not conversational like how you guys are. Yeah. This is out of my territory. Like, people may roast me in the comments. I don't know if I'm trying my best not to give anyone leverage because I know you're listeners.
Maybe the last quote where you said, "I'm the smartest person alive."
Okay, roast me on that. I don't care. Like, that actually would fire me up a little bit.
Yeah. That's good.
I'm trying my best because sometimes your comments, the people go at you guys, like, and at the guests were like,
yeah, but I think you're the best, most well-spoken guest I think we've had, to be honest.
Sure.
Like,
yeah, definitely. Like,
smile right on my face. We'll clip that. We'll clip it before the thing I said, and I'll be posting that on my social media.
There you go. You'll have that.
You know what I love about social media? I mean, I've said the same thing 50 times, but it's the coolest thing for me, not on the rink, when people follow my personal account. And on Instagram, I only have 2,000. Like, it's well within the range of not famous, or obviously, like, I don't claim to be famous, but it's well within the range of like just a normal person. Like, a normal person from my high school has more, and they don't even do social media stuff. But every time I get a follow, I'm like, to me, it's like the coolest thing ever. I'm like a follow from someone I don't know. Like, this person wants to be a part of my story and a part of my journey. And I'm going to give them something to talk about. And I'm going to show them a cool life that I want to have a crazy journey. Right. This rink stuff is very small for me. Like, I want to, who knows what my end goal is. No one ever knows. I like to be secretive like that, but I have things I want to accomplish in life and that I'm setting out for in life. And we're going to see, like, it's where my imagination will take me. But I love when people follow me and like, isn't it cool for you guys to have a following and to have people that are like fans of yours? That's really cool, but it's also like nerve-wracking because I'm shy. But I find that cool.
The same way.
Even just like one person following.
Like, I'll get 10 followers or something, and I'll be on a walk. Like, I'll be walking around different. I'll be like talking to my friends, like, just treat me the same as you always treat me. Like, you're like, it's 10 followers. Like, they're like, you have like 100 followers or something like that. Like, it's just cool to have a following. Even if it's small.
Yeah, even if it's small, for sure.
You're building the community, and I followed your personal, like, right away. I think once I followed the Rink of Dreams one, then I was like, I want to know who like actually runs this thing, right? So I was like, okay, like,
that's Alex, a good roadmap for everyone.
Yeah, for sure.
Meaning, follow the Rink of Dreams and then follow me. Sometimes I'll have a little agenda. Sometimes the story has a purpose behind it. This one is easy to trace what the purpose was.
For sure.
at least a lot of people aren't appreciative.
Yeah.
Like a lot of content creators, they think it's just expected and just owe it or whatever. Like they do a cool video. Like it's really appreciated to me when people follow me and people are interested in the rink. Like I find that's like, I don't know, it fires me up. Like that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I thought it was great talking to you and learning about all these different things.
And I had a great time.
We were before this.
No one
No,
knows,
not
and
at
no
all.
one ever knows the story. So it's
Yeah.
cool to get the story out.
Yeah.
And I haven't even said half of the cool stories that could have been said on the rink, but it's hard like on my mind, like
Yeah.
to have all those different stories and like say, it kind of has to be brought up like in
For
discussion.
sure. Yeah.
But yeah, there's more to come on the
Well,
rink.
dude, if you want to come on again, like you're more
No, I'd
than
love
welcome.
to. And a closing message for me is that if you're listening to this and you're a fan of Unmastered and you like that stuff, check out the summer tournament, which is going to be the Canadian Classic,
Yeah.
because it will have obviously you guys, which your fans will
Yeah.
like,
Sure, you guys can
but
see
it will have everyone else that that is cool and that does cool stuff in Toronto and watch the live stream. And it's going to be such a celebration of people like who do that type of stuff and that content, and it's something to look out for. Even if you don't watch the live stream, you're going to see all the stories and
Yeah.
stuff, and maybe you'll come back to this podcast and say, what was that day about?
Yeah.
And you could come and listen here.
Exactly.
That'd be
dude.
awesome.
I'm excited to see how this podcast ages because you seem to
Yeah.
have
This is
ambition.
a little bit in advance. Let's see, because I feel like right now, like it's the favorite is that it all plays out how I think it will play out.
Yeah.
Really, the favorite is that it won't. It's hard to plan things in life.
Yeah.
But you got to be ambitious and you got to speak it into existence.
What
but
would you say is one of your ambitions? I know you don't want to say it.
Drake at the tournament and Drake coming.
Wow.
That would be a cool one. Is that like a rink related ambition or just in life? In life,
related.
let's say prime minister. That I
Dude,
could be
you
prime
kinda
minister one
like
day.
Talk like one.
I don't know.
I was like, dude, this guy.
I think the opposite. I don't know. I don't think I'm well spoken with it. I'm hard on myself with that.
Yeah,
dude.
you are.
But
Listen to this podcast.
I know I would
Listen
be for
back.
the people.
Yeah.
I would be really good for the people. It would be very much like grassroots and stuff. I love politics. I can talk about politics for that could be a 3-hour episode. I would be
Alex
done.
Weiss is running for
Yeah.
president.
But yeah,
2024.
this would be the first time I ever said that. So
Oh,
maybe
but-
one day we'll trace back this podcast, like that clip of that, and that'll be on the
Yeah,
news. Like, look who's running now.
Exactly.
But that's a wild one. But it's good to have wild dreams.
For
You
sure.
know?
Dream big, right?
Dream big. Dream
Rink
big.
of
It's a big
Dreams.
fire up for my mom because she always puts that in the pool. We have lettering in the pool.
Yeah, yeah.
And she always puts dream big, which is
Wow,
funny.
there you go.
So that's a good way to end it.
Awesome.
But yeah, we appreciate you inviting us here. You did
I
great. It's
appreciate
awesome.
you guys having me.
Yeah, we're very excited
This
for
was
this
great.
event.
And everyone listen to Unmastered because these people are on the rise. They're on the come up. They're already getting out there with a lot of views and a lot of videos.
Yeah.
But they're really good at what they do because they're good. You guys are good conversationalists.
Yeah.
Even off camera, like I'm like very comfortable talking to you and like
Yeah.
you keep the conversation flowing.
Yeah, and everybody, Alex's stuff will all be linked below. Whatever you want to link right now, go for it.
And
Plug
follow
something.
it.
Yeah, his personal Instagram, his Rink of Dreams Instagram, his TikToks, whatever he wants, we're gonna put
But
him
I
down
post
below.
cool stuff. Like, I think if I had to sell people on why you should follow me, I post the coolest things. People go, even like big names, they post on their Instagram the cringiest, the dumbest things. Like it's just so silly. Like I'm never making TikToks that are silly and that are like, enough that you've seen a million times.
Yeah.
I'm never doing content that's repetitive. If I'm posting something, it's somewhat cool and it's like a glimpse into my life and I have cool stories.
I love that, man. That's
great.
great. Well, dude,
Yeah.
you're
And,
more than welcome.
and shout out to my manager,
yeah.
Lily, who was here the whole time with
Yeah.
watching it.
Our
So,
first audience.
First
member.
audience.
First audience
she was
member.
great.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was awesome, dude. Well, dude, invitations always open to come back on the pod if you want to go
Okay, I
back
appreciate
to our
it.
spot.
We'll do another one that's just rants.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
the whole time,
A full
not one
rant.
rink thing mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if people like it, I never know if people like my views or if not, because I like to think I'm very unique with it. And I never, all my views are formulated on my own self, like and my own experiences. I don't like to echo like other people, but sometimes it is like obviously. But if people like it and let me know, because that would be cool to know. Otherwise I won't.
Yeah.
Dude, you'll see in the clips when we post them. Like,
If
I
it
think we
goes
got a
well, I
couple
would
going
talk
to
more
them.
about it. Because
Don't trust the clips though either because these people, I don't trust.
also
what they
give me
say.
hate if you don't
They're
like
just
the
gonna
views,
hate
give
for
me
just
hate.
hating. That's all
Yeah.
they're gonna do.
I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to it all coming out. But dude,
Okay, thank you guys so much for having
sure.
me.
Amazing.
Amazing
Let's
episode.
hit the rink quickly.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
We'll go
show
hit the
them,
ring.
All right.
guys.
See you guys next
See you
time.
guys.
Like, subscribe. Peace.